one of the really kind of neat fossils that you don't see them very much are fossil palms. Fossil palms from the usually the Cenozoic era. Some come from the Cretaceous, but palms are angiosperms. That is, they are flowering plants which evolved at the very end of the Mesozoic era, and they seem to be particularly abundant in the early part of the Cenozoic era. And I'm going to show a few fossil palms because they're neat. I find fossil palms are really intriguing, and I found that when I collected them. Most of what I have here are from Arkansas, and a number of years ago I made a concentrated trip to go down into areas where there are fossil palms in Arkansas. I rummaged through the literature and found localities in the what are called Gulf Coastal plain sediments, which some areas aren't anything but plains in there. Some of them are very hilly. But we went to one of them. It was on the Arkansas River. We went over the Christmas holidays, and man, it was cold. We went down there and camped, I remember. And then we took a canoe on the Arkansas River and went to a locality midway between Little Rock and Pine Bluff. And there was supposed to be a zone of fossil palms in there, and by golly, there was, but it was covered by a bed of gravel. But I found the palms to be one after the other. They were like laying this way, and one here, another one here, another one here, and just packed in there, but very nicely, almost like they had been laid in there. And I always found that was extremely neat. Then another locality, also in Arkansas, was around Paragould. And you'll see, I'll start with the images, show you this little neat, sweet little palm from around Paragould. Came from a locality that I got from a pre-Civil War geology book published in Arkansas called Hardy's. The locality was known as Hardy's Mill. And this is the palm. It's a nice little sable palm, kind of on the small side, but it's nice. Very, very neat, very crisp. And that was one of them. And we found that, I think, maybe a few months after the Pine Bluff, Little Rock canoe excursion. The locality between Little Rock and Pine Bluff was kind of difficult to get to. We say we had to use a canoe, and we found it. We did find the zone, and we dug out with a pickaxe. We dug out some of these specimens, and but again, they're very nice, and they're not common fossils. Coming back with successful loot, I guess you could say, from getting some nice palms. We got talking about palms and the association of them with Christianity. One of the people on the trip was a spiritual person, and he was intrigued by that these palms were so nicely laid in there. They were almost like they were laid in there by a mason in the brown clay that they occur in, and he was intrigued by that, as I was. I got it all together because we had, I think it was about three. We took 2 canoes back in there, so we had about 5 people, I think, and everybody got some. Anyway, we came back with our booty, our specimens of these fossil palms, and I've always found them very interesting, and I find it interesting, the relationship between palms and the Christian religion, which I was raised and went to Sunday school in the Methodist Church, and palms are always a major part of particularly Easter time, with Palm Sunday and such. And anyway, it's an interesting relationship, the way these were laid in there, almost like they were put in there by a mason or something that in the clay. and they were in a bed of this. You can see the brown clay on the screen again that they occur in, and they were really really nice. Very interesting. I've always found them very interesting, and I thought it would be interesting to do a video on them with a connection with Christianity. I'm not saying there's any kind of deep spiritual thing with it, although it sort of seemed that way when we were collecting them, and when I look at them, I kind of have that feeling a little bit. There does seem to be, there's a little bit of that in there, and I kind of like that. I also find that paleontology really kind of sometimes gives a bad rap to Christianity. Some of the paleontologists are very, very kind of hardline on their approach to spirituality, and I think this may be a case of wanting to get into it a little bit on a more friendly side, a little more on the friendly side. So anyway, this is with fossil palms. Now the other thing with fossil palms and sediments in the Gulf Coastal Plain are occurrences of palm wood. And this on the screen you see with these little spots all through it is fossil palm wood from Arkansas, and some of it comes from Louisiana and East Texas. And these are slabs of slices of palm wood that weathers out of usually Eocene age rocks, Eocene age sediments. And I might point out that the palm fronds from Arkansas are also from Eocene age rocks, and they are in some cases pretty well packed locally with palm wood. You find it in creeks where it's weathered out of Eocene age rocks. They're sliced, as you see here. It's very distinctive wood, has a very distinctive pattern to it. And what you see on the screen is palm wood, and it's popular with rock hounds, and they make jewelry and such out of it. And it's generally recognized for what it is, that it's palm wood. And then here's another fossil palm. Now this is from Colorado. This is a frond that occurs actually in an outcrop. It's on a hogback close to the Coors Brewery. I got this one years ago from outcrops in the Front Range in Colorado around Denver. And this is another palm, and it is from Paleocene rocks. That is just above the Mesozoic rocks. The Paleocene is the first epoch of the Cenozoic era. The Arkansas palms are Eocene, which is the epoch that follows the Paleocene. And I think there were a lot of these palm fronds on this hogback, but they were inaccessible pretty well, pretty big on big bedding plains of sandstone. So, but I was able to get this one, and this is from around Golden, Colorado, from the close to the area, not too far from where the Coors beer is made. That's again a very nice palm, very nice palm. The other palms you see sometime are these here, these giant ones. They come out of the Eocene Green River Formation in Wyoming. The same formation and the same area that produces the fossil fish that you see so often at rock shows and in collections and museums and such. There are these big palms that settled out in the lakes of what is called the Green River Formation.